Yo guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I will talk about Wednesday Season 2, the first batch of 4 episodes. Alright, so during my trip to America, Wednesday graced us with another season, but I had to be honest with you guys, I hadn't seen Season 1 yet. It's kind of flew past me when I wasn't doing YouTube anymore and I wasn't really feeling like watching it. I started it up once and after 10 seconds I turned it off and I never went back to it, but it's always a series that had been on my mind since that show, also because of its popularity and the dance sequence meme and stuff like that. So I was always very interested to watch it, and when I went to America on a road trip, I hadn't had to drive the entire thing because we went on a road trip in 4 states, so the closest destination between one location to the other was around 3 hours, so I had plenty of time in the car to watch the show, and I decided to just binge watch the entirety of Season 1. Season 2 had already released, so I could jump straight into Season 2 as well, at least the first batch of 4 episodes. So that's exactly what I did, and I have to say, binge watching that first season was awesome to get me hyped for Season 2, and I have to say that Season 2 does indeed deliver on that promise, and this Season 2 is, in my opinion, very good as well. I have to say that it feels less connected than Season 1 is in some capacity, in some ways, but it's obviously, I find it pretty difficult to rate the series as of now because it's only the first half of the season, which is something in the release schedule of Netflix that I've seen a lot of people complain about with Stranger Things and stuff like that, and this is the first time that I actually have something like this happen to me as well, because I have just started watching more and more series, and for me personally there are 2 perfect ways to release a series that I genuinely love. Have a multiple episode premiere or a 1 episode premiere and then release 1 episode weekly after that, or do it the way that you do it now, have the season this time, have the season next week, not next month, but next week, or just have the entire season come out at once. That's also a possibility. I think Ironheart did it pretty okay because that was just 1 week the half, 1 other week the other half. Now we have to wait a month, so we have to hold the show in our thoughts for a month, and that was something I was kind of scared about. I thought about just waiting with the entire thing until everything released, but I was too excited to watch it, so I didn't do that. And right now I am here reviewing the first 4 episodes, and I have to say the story, it feels lesser connected than Season 1 because we have multiple things going on right now. Of course, we also had that in Season 1 as well, but right here I sometimes seems to forget where the focus of it all lies. Of course, we have Wednesday and her investigation. We have the added characters of the superfan in there and the stalker. We have the investigation of everything else going on with everything and the bird stuff and like that and the murders and stuff like that, and immediately the show goes into it. We have the psychic thing that's going on, and we also have Pugsley now going to the school as well, and Pugsley having an entire problem of his own that he kind of created, but also seems to be a big deal for the rest of the story, which is where the story feels more convoluted than Season 1. It's still pretty damn good, but it feels like there's too much going on at the same time, sometimes making me forget as to where the show wants our primary focus to be for the story. And I still don't know. In the beginning, it definitely seemed like the stalker was going to be the main thing of it, like that's the thing they set up at the end of Season 1, and then also in the first episode you get to see this new story that starts to feel connected to the stalker story, but then in episode 2 and 3 it doesn't seem to be that way, and they kind of forget the stalker story. And in the first episode they also set up the big Pugsley thing, and you can, okay, a B story, there's always a B and a C story, so that's okay, that's perfectly fine, but then they made that so important that the Pugsley story took the spotlight of the cliffhanger for episode 2 and 3, so you're thinking like, okay, so that is going to be the thing, and then in episode 4 that's very important again, but then they shift the focus again, and it feels very convoluted at times. You kind of forget where as you need to put your focus mainly, what's the most important stuff and what's the stuff that you can find just look at it from the side. And that's also a problem I had with the characters of it. Like the characters, what the fuck? That was outside. maybe the horror of Wednesday comes to my house as well. Oh, it's a dog. All right, okay, then the characters, of course, we have a lot of new characters. As I said, the Stalker, and you have a Superfan, and you have Pugsley now coming into the mix, and you have a bigger role for the Brainy Kid, and you have some characters that have been sidelined. One of those characters being Xavier. For me personally, Xavier was a big fucking standout of the first season, and I loved what they did with his character, and then they completely forgot about him in season 2. They have a throwaway line as to why he isn't there, but I really miss the guy. I feel like he was such an important part to Wednesday's story in season 1, and now he isn't there anymore. The same thing goes for Enid, a character I genuinely really fucking loved in season 1, and of course she still is in season 2, but because of some other additions to this cast and some other additions to the group of Wednesday, you kind of seem to forget her presence for some moments, and she really feels sidelined in this first half of the season, and I feel like that is a bummer because I loved her so much in that first half season, and I thought she was awesome in that first half of the season, or in that first season, and it's also kind of great in this season. Whenever she is on screen, she completely embraced the character of Enid. So I love the portrayal of Emma Myers in this. Wednesday, of course, is still the focal point of everything. Jenna Ortega still plays her beautifully, and she is a saving grace of both the first season and the second season. She makes it work, and she does so in a phenomenal way, and she really gives this character of Wednesday, even though she is emotionless, she can still manage to get a lot of emotion in there, which I really love, and I love her performance of Wednesday Addams in this. It's really awesome. Also, something I really love is the bigger addition of her family. We, of course, have now the bigger Addams family, which feels important to me because Wednesday is just a part of a bigger group, and solely taking her from that group to put her in the school and solely focus on her. I get why they did it, but in the first season, I kind of missed having more of those characters, having more of the family of Gomez and of Morticia and of Pugsley. Of course, Pugsley is now annoying me a little bit because of how stupid he can be, but I do feel with what they're setting up with the story, I do feel like they're going to do something very fucking nice for Pugsley in that second half of the season when it releases on September 3rd. So I am kind of excited to see where that story might go. Even though I am not completely fond of the story that they gave him, I'm still excited to see where it might be headed. And that's something I have for this entire season. Even though it feels less connected, it feels more convoluted, and some of the characters aren't getting enough justice as of now. It's only the first half of the season, and I do think there are way too many storylines going on at the same time where the focus isn't necessarily on the right thing. I do have a feeling that I kind of want to see how all of these stories conclude, and I have a feeling that they will all conclude in a manner and a way that is both connected and feels very nice. So I hope that comes true, because I still do genuinely think that Wednesday Season 2 is off to a good start. Not a great start, but a very good start. It's a very good season. It's just the focus wasn't completely there, making sure that I binge-watched the first 4 episodes of Season 2 on a lesser hyped basis than I did Season 1. And that was kind of sad. Also, kudos for giving us a very fucking proper cliffhanger for episode 4. That is something that will lead you straight into season 2, batch 2, which was something I was scared about. Like, okay, how are they gonna do that? It will just be a cliffhanger, like maybe the first or second episode, which isn't that big, but still a cliffhanger nonetheless. No, they decided to put a big cliffhanger. You know how it's gonna end already, but it's a very ballsy move that they did it, and I loved that cliffhanger, and that was enough to get me hyped for the second batch of episodes coming on in less than a month right now. All right, what did you think of Wednesday Season 2 series batch 1? I will not give you a score because I haven't seen the entire thing yet, so I will give you the score for Wednesday Season 2 on the next episode, which will come out somewhere after September 3rd. All right, what did you think of these first 4 episodes? Please let me know in the comments down below, because I'm really excited to hear your opinion on it. I want to thank you for watching this video, and would like to see you in the next one. Thank you, and bye-bye.